Hey folks, my name is Pravus. Welcome to more Extinction Day with our Cataclysmic Difficulty Guide series for every disaster in the game. Now we're going to move on to what is the final passive disaster in this game, at least for now until Chapter 5 is released, and it's going to be the Parasite. This still has some element of RNG to it, but it is far, far more forgiving than the zombie outbreak. I'd actually say this one is a very, very powerful disease type. You can do quite a lot with it. For our slots, you better believe we are going to go for those free enhancements, influence, passive damage, and of course, biohazard. From there, you have a couple of different options. You really shouldn't need things like energy. I don't know if instant expansion even works in this scenario. If it does, this could be a good option for you. Beyond that, though, I mean, there's not a lot you need to worry about. I just go for quick start and say, hey, speed is always going to be fun. Now, with this disease, it's going to be pretty hard to win on Cataclysmic difficulty without any active abilities. It can be done, but that's really where luck comes into play. So maybe we get lucky today, maybe we don't, and we use a couple of asteroids. Going to go for our standard lineup of influence abilities, then we're going to grab the Parasite, and we're going to start in India today. The reason why is because, well, the Parasite spreads in a unique way. We're not just going to randomly infect neighboring countries. Instead, as we start infecting hosts, this is the threshold we need to automatically infect a nearby region. And then we would spend energy as usual in order to start actively deploying in those regions. The problem is, there are literally not enough people on the planet to fully infect every single region. So it's going to take a little bit of luck here. There are some ways of getting around that. For example, if we were to go here with propagation efficiency, we lower the threshold necessary to expand into a new territory. And I do recommend picking up a couple levels of this pretty early on. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and lock in 2 before I forget. There is also going to be a special thing here called random mutations. A 0 to 70% chance. So, sorry, not 0 to 70 like a range. Like it goes from 0 to 70% chance to randomly expand into a new territory without the usual thresholds. With luck, this is going to be what pushes you over the edge to infect every region in the world. If you can't do that, not a big deal. Just pick up an asteroid or 2 and everything's going to be fine. Now, other things you can do that are quite unique. You may have noticed we only have 15 energy for the Parasite. That is not a lot, but there are a couple of different things here that are going to reduce the energy cost of a region by a lot, up to 50%, plus we'll be able to generate some more energy. Pair that up with the right influence abilities and enhancements, and it only costs like 2 energy to operate in a region. You can theoretically infect most of the world simultaneously, and you will be fine as the Parasite, which is quite good. But the most important thing is go ahead and start infecting as quickly as we can. So I'm going to go ahead and boost up our attack range. Plus, I want to increase the number of people who can be infected. In fact, I'd rather just go ahead and make this 100% so I don't have to worry too much about it. Beyond that, there are a couple more things you can do. If you want to go under the radar, you could go for symptoms reduction. This reduces the alertness in a region. It starts off fairly high. You can burn this down a little bit. You can even go further and decrease the amount of damage you do to bring alertness down even more. I don't recommend this because damage is generally good. In fact, what I'd say is better is to go ahead and do more unit damage, and then you'll eventually get to a point you really accelerate that alertness. Like, you're super obvious, but by the time you get to this point, you probably are already detected, so who really cares? On Cataclysmic, I just don't see this as being especially useful. You're going to get detected very early on regardless. I'd rather spend my points on just committing and speedrunning things. That's how I'd rather go. So let's go ahead and start infecting in India. What you're going to see is these little worms spreading around, and oh, boom, a bunch of people just got infected. Range is your friend on this one because the point is just to infect as many people as you can, and you'll notice we're already at the 70-some million that we were looking for. So if I want to, we can now move on to a place like in East Asia and so on. Problem is, this is a little on the expensive side as it currently stands, so I'm going to need to get myself some of the energy cost reductions in order to make that useful, which is why I was kind of debating, is it worth even grabbing this first level right off the bat? And it's okay, you could do that. For our enhancements, by the way, definitely go for the resource boost. Energy efficiency is going to make a pretty big difference, and I usually go for the area increase. Accelerated harvest could be a decent option as well. I don't think rapid spreader does anything for you, so I just rather do this and hit as many people as possible. Notice we've already got another round of infections, so that's great. We've reached these other regions. Cool. cool. Can't do a lot with it right now, but, you know, that'll be helpful eventually. Let's go ahead and grab that 5th point right now. Perfect. I'm going to reduce that energy cost, which means now I can move into other places like into China, and that'll be okay. Technically might not have done that just because it is a high alertness area, but I knew I was already about to get detected anyway, and we've barely made any progress on my influence abilities. So, like, that just kind of gives you a clue of very, very quickly you're going to get detected. Unless you specifically invest in reducing that, it is unfortunately going to happen. So let's just go ahead and make sure we have plenty of souls to work with. Now, you should be able to generate a pretty decent number of souls. Like, you are going to spread very, very rapidly in this game. It's pretty nice, but whatever. I'm feeling fine about that. Let's go ahead and do one more reduction here, just so we'll be able to infect as many places as possible. This is looking okay. I would like to go into a place like Los Angeles just to make sure that when this spreads, it hits a few other places. So let's go ahead and do that. Energy efficiency again, more range. Yeah, I know we don't have enough energy at the moment. That is going to be a small problem, but we can fix that if I just go ahead and grab energetic requirement level 2, and boom, now it's very, very cheap. It only costs me 2 energy to start infecting North America, the rest of North America, I should say, which is great. The energy efficiency and stuff we do here is pretty cool. If we want to go ahead and pick up, let's say, disaster containment failure and then get something like emergency response failure, you can, and then all of a sudden those energy efficiencies become so good it's practically free. Like, it's literally the free real estate meme, but, you know, with evil parasites. Whatever, it's fine, don't judge, it's okay. We'll go ahead and pick this up over here as well. More energy efficiency, more resources and stuff. You get the idea, we're only 2 short here. That's okay. If I go for a level here in metabolic surge, that's actually going to be almost enough to take care of all of that. So, like, it's fine. Or I can just do this now with the emergency response failure, problem solved, and now we have enough energy to go around. So that's a lot of the world infected. 5 regions simultaneously. Like, that's pretty good. The respiratory outbreak can only dream of the power of the parasite. All right? I think so. Bit of splash damage and extra spread effect is not a bad thing for us here. We're just, again, trying to infect as fast as we can in as many places as we can. It's also not a bad idea to go ahead and boost up your attack size. Range is your king here. Like, that's the main thing that matters. And actually, there is going to be a special ability here, a 200% increase to the area increase enhancer effect, which is what we've been using up to this point. So that's going to greatly increase our parasite range, and we're going to hit all sorts of cool stuff. I am going to boost up our damage by a couple of levels here, though. Might as well max that out, because while we're very good at spreading and hitting large areas, we're not so good at killing. And if I can kill a lot faster, look how much faster those souls are coming in now. That's going to make a big difference. I'm going to go for the 25% increased coverage radius per territory. This means we have a better chance of being able to reach into other areas. And then let's go ahead and grab that extra energy just to make sure we're not going to have any more problems. Now, I'm pretty slow on my influence this time around, unfortunately. I haven't even got things like the influence control. So my ability to get rid of some of these countermeasures is not looking so great right now. That's partly because I did prioritize the energy since we are spreading so gosh dang fast. So that's kind of why I did it that way, but if you don't want to and you're worried about countermeasures, go ahead and grab the influence control, save your corruption points. It didn't hurt me in this particular case, but I could see why it would matter otherwise. Let's grab the random mutations. Now that I've grabbed a level in both of these, this increases the chance of just having a random free infection, and that matters in this case. It really does, since we're just not going to have enough people to infect in the world to eventually win this completely. How are we doing over here? 1 energy for this? I mean, yeah, why the heck wouldn't I? I'm not even worried about getting my energy efficiency at this point. It's just free. Over here, though, sure, energy efficiency still does make a difference. I'll grab the resource boost, just more souls to work around, but now we're infecting 7 places simultaneously. Nothing is even dead yet. That's just how impactful we are going to be. I'm going to go ahead and increase that area a little bit more, so now we can see that we're going to have a very large radius. It's practically like an asteroid going off with every single tick right now, which means we are getting a load of souls. Let's go ahead and boost up that damage by a little bit. We could go for some extra actually, I don't want to go for final stage necrosis until like a bit later. This increases the threshold to expand. This is the last thing you do. Like, when you've already kind of reached every single region, go ahead and pick this up. Otherwise, just focus on this base damage. That's going to be a lot more impactful for you. I am going to go for the extra damage and range here, because why not? Just go ahead and stack up that range even further. We are about to finish killing off a region here in India, which is cool. I did miss this over here. Hello. They're trying to heal themselves. Healthcare in America? Absolutely ridiculous. No way in heck I'm going to let you get away with that one. More damage is great. More splash damage here is great. More energy generation. Sure, why not? I mean, I don't care. Like, everything's going to start dying off so fast all of a sudden. No problem at all. Let's infect all of Europe. Again, just trying to get a little bit more stuff over here. We could go for the area increase. Not really worried about energy efficiency, but one module here definitely solves the problem, so we're looking good there. Hoping we can spread into the last regions, and this is where it gets tough, because maybe you can't get into Australia, or maybe you can't get into Africa. Like, we've kind of hit that point where we've reached most of the world's population already. So at that point, it is definitely worth going for something like an asteroid, and just having that in your back pocket. Maybe you make use of it, maybe you don't if you're lucky, but odds are you probably will have to. I'd rather have it ready, and then we can start making use of it to just blow a few places up. You know what I mean? If you kill too quickly with the Parasite, it actually ends up coming back to haunt you a little bit. So let's go ahead and just start dropping things a little bit here in Africa. Mostly I recommend going for things like the impact cloud and then also the larger stellar objects. We have larger splash damage. It takes so much energy that like this can be a bit of a pain to make work, but it's okay. You could also go for the airstrike. I mean, the airstrike is a pretty reliable option, and we already know that I love the B-52 Stratofortress. Those guys generate so much extra souls that you'll be able to upgrade it in practically no time at all. With the extra energy, what else could I want along over here? We could just go ahead and reduce the cost of using the asteroid by a couple of times. That's not a bad pickup for us. The impact cloud and the the winter ash and stuff is great. We did manage to spread over here in Africa, so we'll just go ahead and do that. We can also spread in South America. So literally all I'm missing right now is going to be Australia, and knowing that's the case, I'm just going to go ahead and start burning them down using my asteroids. I don't really see any reason to rely on the parasites for that. They'll be able to kill off everything else on their own pretty well. But with 6 billion infected, like now that we're hitting up in places like Africa, we should be able to hit this last infection. So we actually had a good chance of being able to infect every single place in the world this time around, but it's fine. There is a finisher ability up over here called Infection Surge, which is going to have a really big attack size and hit lots of units. You can only use it one time, which I'll do just to kind of show off how that works, but it's going to be one giant cloud like this hitting huge areas, like boom! And there's one of my last infections. Now, for some reason, it didn't actually trigger in Sydney. It's random where it's going to be infecting things, and it seems like sometimes it just straight out does not infect the place you want. I don't know why that's the case, because we still have Southeast Asia affected, so you'd think, hey, that's adjacent, it should work. Well, for some reason, it didn't because, reasons frick you. I mean, that's kind of all there is to it. It just decided it doesn't like you and it doesn't want to. So, all right, whatever. What can you do? It happens. Anything else I want to do over here? At this point, we've kind of infected almost everything. I'll go ahead and grab the final stage necrosis because that is so much damage. And actually, we just killed Australia with the winter cloud that we didn't even get a chance. I was about to infect it, though. It was ready to receive my infection, but they decided to pull out at the last minute. Oh well, I'm aware of what that sounds like, by the way. Get your mind out of the gutter. Shut up. Everything is completely fine. Anything else I care about? No, from here on out, this is going to be a really easy win for us. We can go ahead and just do, let's say, extra range and stuff on the asteroid just to get the extra impact, but, like, we're done. We're done. I'm going to grab that final stage necrosis. Like, oh yeah, now it takes 33 billion people in order to infect the next region. Who cares? Every region has been infected. Europe is about to fall. South America has already fallen. We're going to drop some more asteroids over here in Africa, which speeds this up even further. And it's just all over. That is all she wrote. Thank you kindly. It's just Dunskies. So that's why I don't even worry about going for the awareness. With the Parasite, you can move so fast and infect so many regions simultaneously that the world just freaking dies. It's awesome. And that's the end of it. Easy peasy Parasite, cataclysmic difficulty, ain't no thing. Very, very powerful. You can pair this up, by the way, with the respiratory outbreak, since they're both biohazards and different, like, sandbox scenarios. And with the outbreak generating tons of souls, you can ramp up the Parasite so stinking fast that it literally just becomes a killing machine. It's genuinely one of the best disasters in the game. It takes everything you like about, let's say, the respiratory outbreak, but also pairs it with the power of storms, and it's just a murder machine. So stinking powerful. Thank you all very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, found this helpful in some way. If so, I'd ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, hit the notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.